can't wait.
Hello. Hi everybody. Welcome to our weekly area training, our Sunday night basic team training call. Massive welcome to anybody that's joining us for the first time tonight, and then a massive welcome to everybody else that is on the call. So tonight we've got the fabulous brand new district manager, Chloe Hatfield, who's going to tell us a little bit about her journey. She's going to talk to us about pre-Arbonne, what she was doing before the business, how she heard about Arbonne, and then her journey from starting her business to district. And then we have District Manager Sammy Jo Lewis, who's going to talk to us about how to create a hypnotic shield. For that part of tonight's training, it's not going to be recorded at that bit. So when Sammy starts her training, the recording's going to stop, and she'll explain why once we took the recording off. And unfortunately, Diane Gardner can't train tonight. So she was training tonight on the slight edge. So I'm going to do a few little bits of training if there's some time where Diane would have trained. So I'm going to kick straight off because I know we're all absolutely dying to hear Chloe and her story. So I would like to welcome brand new district manager Chloe Hatfield. So you might have seen her on Facebook or WhatsApp as Chloe Louise. And she started the business with Natalie Crawford. So she's in the Crawford area, the brand new Crawford area. I'm yet to meet Chloe in person, but I've met her lots of time online and through WhatsApp and through Facebook. Chloe's got her gorgeous little baby Albie. And I only know that Chloe is a dance teacher, and she met Natalie, I'm sure she'll explain this, through Natalie's daughter, Daisy, doing dance. And I know that recently Chloe's won a few tournaments for her girls. I'm sure she'll explain more about that. So without further ado, I would like to welcome brand new manager, Chloe Hatfield.
Hi. Oh, thank you. That's a lovely, lovely introduction. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I've made some slides just to keep myself on track, really, or else I will just blab on and on and on. Has that worked?
Yeah, that's working.
Right, okay, yeah, so I was thinking about this when Danny asked me to do the training, and I was like, right, what on earth can I talk about? Because my journey to district definitely didn't just start when I started Arbonne. It started way years ago when I had a really good think about it, what made me want to go into just businesses in general. So I thought I'd start with a bit just about me. So when I left college, I wanted to do ICT, and I went into an ICT degree because my dad said it would be a good idea. That taught me, don't listen to what other people tell you to do, and do what you want to do, because I did a year of that and I absolutely hated it. So I swapped completely, and I went into early childhood studies and started working with children instead. And that's where I was like, right, this is what I'm really passionate about. But then after I'd done that, I realised that I didn't really want to work with just under fives. I wanted to have like a really broad age range to work with. So I went to Durham University and I did my PGCE in primary school teaching. And that's what my job is now. But I'm on maternity leave at the moment still. So yeah, I'm a primary school teacher. That's where I met my partner. He's a primary teacher as well. And if anyone knows primary teachers, any teacher at all actually, you will know how much work there is to do in that job. And it's not just, as I was speaking to someone today, she was like, oh, well, don't you just finish at 3:30? I was like, what? What on earth? Yeah, I wish I did. So that would be really like my why to find in this business. But I'll get onto that in a bit. Yeah, so as Danny said, I'm a cheerleading coach as well. So I coach, well, we have over 200 kids in our team, really. And we go on weekends away and we do big championship competitions. And this year, after making my vision board, I put a big trophy in the middle of my vision board, and I've been staring at it on my screen, on my phone. And last year I had the worst year. We were coming like 8th out of 8, or we were getting 4th and no more than that. And I was like, oh my God, I'm such a bad coach. What am I doing? Why can't I get these kids to win? And now we're coming no less than 2nd. So I'm just like, yes, yeah, really good. So I'm like, yay, it's working. And I think when I started all this and everyone was like, oh, you need to do a vision board and stuff, you do think, what are these people on? They're crazy. That's not going to work. But it does. So I've been teaching all the kids as well. I get them to sit down at the start of the lesson. I'm like, right, picture that trophy. How are you going to get to that trophy? And I've got all the kids doing it now as well. So it's great. I teach tap dancing as well to adults. So I basically do like a bit of everything, really. I like to dip my toes into all sorts. And then, of course, I'm a mum to Albie, so I put a few little cute pictures of him on there. That picture of me, it looks like I'm being all loving, but I was actually too drugged up to be able to know what was going on. That's what's going on there. Right, so my first business venture then a few years ago was a nail art business. And I absolutely loved the idea of painting people's nails and working with people. And so I did that alongside working a job as a waitress, being at university, teaching tap and coaching cheerleading. And it was all too much for me. And I just didn't focus enough and put my all into this business. So it just hit rock bottom and I gave it up. And I think that's the difference between me starting this and doing that one. Your heart's got to be into it. And it wasn't in that. It was more of a bit of a hobby. And I was getting paid like a hobby with that. And that's why in the end, my university and everything like that took priority and that kind of hit the floor. But I did really love doing that. So that one day, that might be something that I end up, if I have more time, I can bring back up again and I can go to college and do a few little courses in it because I'd love to carry that on. Right, so how did I meet Natalie? It's quite funny how I met Natalie, really. So the week before I found out about Arbonne, I'd been saying to Matthew, right, when I go back to work, I don't want to go back full time. And I did when I was pregnant. I was like, why on earth would I want to stay at home with a baby all the time? Like, who wants to do that? I need my adult time. I need to get out of this house. And then Albie was born and I was like, well, I don't want to leave him. It's horrible. So that was my why. I was like, right, I need to find something that is going to give me more chance to be at home with Albie and carry on. I want to do supply teaching. That's what I really fancy. I can still carry on my passion there, but I get to do something else that I'm really interested in and get a bit more time and freedom with Albie. And that week, I got a message off Natalie because I taught her daughter and she was a bit angry with me on the way that I'd been teaching Daisy in one of our classes. So she was telling me off basically in this message because I was a bit too competitive in the way I was coaching that week. We had a competition in a few weeks' time and Natalie wasn't happy with me. So she told me. That's how we met. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll be nicer, I promise. And then because of that, I seen her videos on Facebook and I was like, I know that you hate me right now, but I see that you're doing some makeup. And then she came and did my makeup and I was like, wow, this hasn't budged all day. I went on a night out that night and I had it done at 10 in the morning and my makeup just hadn't budged. And I was like, this doesn't happen. My makeup slides all over my forehead all the time. What's going on? So I messaged the next day and I was like, right, I need to buy all of the makeup off you. Like, what can I get? And then she told me that she sold it. And I was like, right, I think I want to know a bit more about this. And that's how I was introduced into Arbonne. And as soon as I heard all about it, and it was so weird that it was that week that I was thinking, right, what can I do that can change what I'm doing when I go back to work? And it was kind of like it had been brought to me. That's how I see it. It came at the perfect time. Matthew was so supportive about it. And he was like, yeah, go for it. So I've gone into Arbonne and my goal was one day I would love to be a district manager. That's all I wanted. I was like, me and Emma Louisa started at the same time and I was like, wouldn't it be amazing if we made it to district managers? That was a big shining thing for me. I was like, that's amazing. And it's happened already. And I think that just to me shows that I had so little self-belief before starting this business. And since starting Arbonne, I can't believe how much support people have given me. How much of it, when we work as a team, it's just, I was been telling people, it's overwhelming at first because you think, why are you being so nice to me? Like, what have I done to deserve this? And it's really bigged me up. So, what did I do to get to district? I just went full in and I thought, I'm not going to treat it like I did my nail business where I just kind of did it as and when and whatever was happening. I thought, I'm just going to absolutely go for this and I'm going to put my full heart into it. And I've been lucky that I'm on maternity leave, so I can put a lot of extra time in. So I've done a lot of parties and I'm trying to squeeze them in everywhere I can. And I didn't think I'd have the confidence to do that because when I did start, Natalie told me about the parties and I was like, I'm not doing parties. No way. Like, why on earth would I do a party? People are just going to look at me and think I'm an idiot. But after watching Natalie, I was like, I can do this, definitely. And it's all about just believing in yourself. and having that confidence. Because I think if you doubt yourself, you just go into a little shell and your business crumbles like my nail art business did, where I just thought, I can't do that. People are going to criticize me. And that's what happened. It disappeared. Facebook, absolutely hammering Facebook, but in the right way. And I watched the video by Nicola Wells for that one. Oh, that was amazing. I was just like, you know what, I'm doing all of this wrong. When she's just so right. Like, so if anyone hasn't watched that video yet, I would really recommend watching that one. And is it on the Do More page and the pin post, I think?
Yes, it is, Chloe.
Yeah, that one. Because I had everything set out the way she said, don't do your business page. And I was like, oh, right, change it all now. And people are interacting way more with it. And it's because I'm not like going for the hard sell all the time. And I think that's what's made a big change. Messaging people. This was the one thing that I thought I would never do, ever. Because I thought people are going to think I'm really weird just messaging them out of the blue about this business. So after reading all the verbiage though on this, I was like, okay, that's not as intense as I thought it would be. Because, you know, loads of you will probably have had messages off other people as well doing businesses similar to this. And sometimes it can be a bit too, I don't want to join your business, you're a bit too, in my face. But don't be scared to message people. I've messaged so many people this week because this week, my target this month is to have 2 people on my team. That's what I want. I've messaged so many people this week, and I've done 4 one-to-ones this week because I messaged people that I just thought, you know what, you would be perfect for this. You might hate me for messaging you, but I'm just going for it. And every single person has replied, which was great. Some of them, you know, weren't interested, but they've been really polite about it. And then I've had 4 one-to-ones as well. And I was just like, oh, amazing. Like, people are interested. And then I've had 2 of them that weren't the one-to-ones that were like, you know what, no, it's not for me, but show me your business page. I want to know more about these products. And I was like, I need to stop being so scared and just put myself out there, and don't be worried. You know, what have you got to lose? If you're polite and you do it in a nice way, then what have you got to lose? I do my live videos now and again. They've had really good response, and they really terrify me to do that, because it's all about what are people thinking and what are they're judging you all the time. I've had so many messages of just nice things from random people that was like, you know, I'm going to carry this on. I've had sales from doing them, which I didn't think I'd get, because I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just putting slap on a morning and chatting away and dropping my stuff all over the place with Albie crying next to me or whatever. So, but people like it because it's real. And I think if you're being honest and you're being real, that's what people want to see. They don't want to see you trying to sell them a product and being fake about it. You've got to love what you're selling. I listen to my daily audios. I do that just while I'm straightening my hair. And I think, you know, some people might think that they might not have as much time to do that, but it's so easy to fit it around your life. So instead of watching the TV on the morning, I watch my laptop, and it's as easy as just fitting it in like that. Really use your mentor and the groups. I absolutely hound that WhatsApp group some days, and I feel a bit bad because I'm like, oh, hi guys, it's me again. But you know, that's what I've been telling everyone in these one-to-ones, that the team is so supportive, and that's been a big selling point to them, because it's not a lie, which is great, because everyone supports each other. So I love that. And Natalie has been the best mentor ever. She is so much help. I love it. So the product training as well, that's the same as your audio really, isn't it? But I'm trying to do as much product training as I can now so that I can answer questions that I get asked. Honesty is, you know, I keep getting complimented at my parties and things about how honest I am about things. You know, if something isn't for me, I'm not going to lie about it. So there's like certain products, like the makeup remover. I'm not a massive fan of the makeup remover personally. And so when people ask me, I'm not going to fake it, because I think people see through that. So instead I say, oh, but I use the cleanser instead. You know, so it's working your way around that and not just thinking, oh, I've got to sell everything and I've got to love everything. Because not everything's going to be for everyone. And my final thing would be fight through the negativity. Because the first day I started Arbonne, my best friend told me that I'd started some sort of horrible cult, and what have I been dragged into? You're an idiot, basically. You know, what on earth are you doing? And I was nearly in tears to Matthew, and I was like, right, I want to quit. Don't want to do this anymore. I'm so glad that I listened to him, and he said to me, don't be stupid, just go for it. What have you got to lose? And that's what I just keep telling myself every single day, no matter what I'm doing. So I put that picture on there because that just really resonates with me, that I've got this comfort zone, and I'm trying to really get out of it, because you're hiding that. And then what's going to happen? If I'd stayed in that comfort zone, I would be working full time, you know, as a teacher, still loving being a teacher, but not loving marking all the books. And yeah, what would I be doing with my life? I wouldn't have any time with Albie, and it'd be horrible. So just go for it and ignore the negativity and use that as something to say to people, right, well, I'm going to prove you wrong. I've got a girl that said to me she's going to be watching me for the next year. And she said, in a year's time, I'm going to be coming and asking you to join your team. You're going to prove me wrong about all these pyramid schemes. And I was like, right, give me a year's time. But then I don't want her on my team because she's not very nice. So I just can't wait to prove people wrong. So just go for it. That's how I got to district. I just started to believe myself and I just went for it. And that's what you've got to do. That's all I like to say. I might have blabbed that too fast or too slow. Sorry.
I used to believe.
Sorry to barge in. Can I just say a few words?
Yeah, Chloe, do you want to just unscreen share a minute and then we can see Natalie?
Oh, don't worry, I'm just ironing. I wouldn't worry about seeing me. I'm in my little PJs ironing away.
I thought I recognised that voice. I was like, who's that?
I just want to say one thing. Absolutely. The first thing, I did not hate you. Just clarify. Like, oh my God, is she really saying this? So that's what
humour.
Yeah. About you completely and utterly from the heart, which is absolutely fantastic. But Chloe, I just want to just let you know how so you make me the person that I am because of how inspirational you are. Incredible. I'm not even kidding. You did your first order on your own on your computer. You said, I'll sort it, I'll just manage. You've just thrown yourself in there with parties. I did your first ever launch, and then from then on, you've done your own parties. I haven't come. You've done it all on your own. So just make sure that you're giving yourself credit where credit's due, because you've been absolutely phenomenal. And I hope that everyone that joins my team from now on is just like you and Emma, because Emma's been exactly the same, straight in there doing their own parties. And it's absolutely so refreshing to have someone like you in the team that's so uplifting, encouraging. You're there for everybody. You think of other people, and just to see you grow in this short space of time has been absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you so much. It's all because of your help as well. You've totally brought me out my shell. I was a little hermit crab that hid away and didn't want to do anything, and you've just ripped me out of it. That's made me go for it. I love it. I said I'm so much happier every single day, and everyone's noticing it, how much more I'm just like walking out with a smile on my face. And it's just, so if I've got anything from this, I'm a happier person. Do you know what I mean? It's great.
Yeah. Oh, good. Sorry to interrupt, Danny. I just had to say a few words. Couldn't help us out.
That's absolutely fine. Chloe, that was incredible. I only echo everything that Natalie just said. The fact that you embraced the fact that you are an independent consultant and just marched on and got on with it. And I always say to people, the best thing you can do to build this business is to literally, as Stacey would say, feel the fear and do it anyway, because it's so much better to do a load of stuff, get a load of things wrong, but find some things that are right, than to do absolutely nothing at all. And you don't want to be paralyzed by fear and do nothing. It's so much better to do a ton of stuff, and half of it will be wrong, but that's okay, because we learn from the stuff that we do wrong, and then we've got a great story to tell anyway, so it's quite funny to get things wrong. So Chloe, you're just an inspiration. What Natalie said, you're an absolute inspiration, and I know that you've promoted to district, you've built that turnover in your business, but you're also helping everybody else. And I know you say you hammer the WhatsApp, but don't forget that you're also the person there helping everybody else. You're in the district WhatsApp group, helping pull everybody else up to district, answering questions and inspiring people. You're just a very, very, very special, lovely girl. You really are. And it's an absolute pleasure that you're part of the team. I think Natalie wants to
you're probably asking questions, Chloe, that other people are too scared to ask. So you're asking all these questions, which is amazing, and somebody else might be sat really quietly wanting to know the answer but daren't speak up. So do you ever feel like you're hammering the WhatsApp group and everyone's fed up?
And then I'm just like, excuse me. question. I'm like that kid in class that's always like got the hand up all the time.
It's good though. It's good. And do you know, if some people are in WhatsApp and they don't follow it because they're busy, that's okay. Like, it doesn't matter. But for a lot of people, it'll be really beneficial for them. So yeah, you're doing fantastic. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep rising to area, because yeah, you said you wanted to be a district manager, but now you've got to change that to area manager.
I know. Now I'm thinking like, well, if I manage that and that was like my big goal, then anything's possible. To do what I want. That's what I'm going to like. Yeah, big goal.
Yes. Fantastic. Well done, Chloe. Okay, so I'm just going to go through just a couple of bits, and then I'm going to stop the recording and pass it on to Sammy. So this is where Diane would have trained, but unfortunately she's I don't know if I said she was poorly at the beginning of the call. She's not poorly. If I did say that, I apologise. Her internet's not working. I can't remember if I told the truth there or not. I don't know. Her internet's not working. I think I got mixed up because CJ's not training on the 9 o'clock call. Instead, somebody else is, because her little boy's poorly. So I don't know if I got confused. Anyway, so I just want to share my screen a second. Hang on, I'll do some music while I'm sharing my screen. If anyone noticed that my desktop's really clear because I spent 10 minutes this afternoon clearing it out. So this is our system to doing Arbonne. So when people say, what do you do to do Arbonne? These are the things that we do to do Arbonne. So this is it broken down into the absolute bare bones. So the top part here, the daily part, this is the bare bones of actually doing Arbonne. So I'm just going to go through what they are, but you'll see there that there is 7 days in a week and obviously 4 weeks a month. We only really recommend that you do 5 days a week, unless you're going for a qual or to complete your promotion, then just go absolute all out crazy. But just as you're building your business, if you're just building it, then we recommend only really 5 days a week. You won't have a couple of days off. And to do this first part here, it'll take you 1 hour a day. So as long as you're willing to commit 5 hours a week, so 1 hour a day for 5 days, then you can do Arbonne. So what we say is add 2 names to your list. So if we need to, because we're consultants, like any self-employed person, my husband's a self-employed Tyler, I've got friends that are self-employed, beauty therapists, hairdressers, solicitors. If you're self-employed, you need to find people to actually tell about what it is that you do. We're no different. We need to find people to talk to about what we do. So we need to be adding 2 new names to our list. So we've got a list of different people that we can talk to about the business because it's going to benefit them, or the products that are going to benefit them, or they are going to tell other people in their network who you don't know about what you do. That's where most of my business comes from. It doesn't come from the people I meet. It comes from the people I meet telling the people they know. So I tend to get them messaging me saying, oh, we've got mutual friend, I don't know, say Richard, mutual friend Richard, he told me that you are a skincare consultant, or he told me that you deal with nutrition. So it's usually friends of friends that refer people to me. So add 2 new names to your list. That, you know, that can take a couple of minutes. The next part, reach out to 2 new people. Now, sometimes people get confused with what's the difference between those 2. So I'll give you an example. I met a lady on the train the other day, really, really lovely lady. I connected with her. I added her on Facebook. We got on really well. I didn't say anything about Arbonne because I didn't know if it was a fit for her. So all I did was add her name to my list and thought, oh, at a future date, I might mention what I do to her. And if there's anybody that she knows that would benefit from what I have, products or business. So all I did was add her name to my list. I did not reach out to her about Arbonne. But about a week later, I'm presenting in Grantham and she lives in Grantham. So I was like, oh, well, I'll reach out to her. So then I messaged her and said, I'm coming to Grantham, doing a talk, blah, 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 blah. That was me reaching out to her. So that's 2 different things. So adding people to your list is different to reaching out to people. Occasionally, you might add a new name to your list and reach out to them. So occasionally it might be the same person, but a lot of the time it's different people. So that's that bit. Follow up with 2 people. So follow up with people that are trying your products, that are watching videos, that you've met up with for a coffee, that you met at a party, and that you're chatting to. So doing those follow-ups. And then we recommend that you spend at least 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, just having a little look on the source. So the source is where everything gets posted. If anybody's on the call and you're brand new and you've got no idea what the source is, ask your sponsor and they'll go through that with you. It's just basically a place that Arbonne head office, Arbonne corporate, put everything into one place like Google, and it's where all the news is, where all the updated things are, and all of the promotion. So Chloe's promotion will be on there, and Natalie's and Emma and anyone else that promoted in January, that will be on the source as well. Okay, the next one, track your QB, so see what your turnover of your business is like owning a shop, you'd always cash up at the end of the day and see what your turnover is. Having an online shop, exactly the same, see what your turnover is. And then read one chapter of a book a day. Hugely recommend this, because reading a chapter of a book is a discipline, and it's creating those daily disciplines. And if you're reading a chapter of a book, it's almost like meditating. It quietens the mind, it absorbs more knowledge. And they say it takes about 10,000 hours to learn your craft. So if you're training to be a doctor, it takes you 10,000 hours to actually learn the craft of what you need to learn to be a doctor. So we need to put in 10,000 hours to learn how to be the best health and wellness consultant. But the great thing about us and our industry is we can earn while we learn. So Chloe's just promoted to district. She's only been in the business a couple of months, but she's going to spend the next few years learning this business and adding on to her knowledge. So reading books, massively, massive thing. And then lastly, listen to an audio. And Chloe gave us a great tip there. Listen to the audio while you're straightening your hair, while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, while you're driving. You can fit it in all over the place. So that's all the daily tasks, and we recommend that 5 days a week for 1 hour. So tick all of them off. And this month in February, the Wells area, so anybody in my area, and Natalie Crawford's area, which is basically everybody on this call, if you fill this tracker in and do it for the whole month, 5 days a week, throughout February, you will earn a signed book. We're going to take the books to Arizona, and they'll be signed by some of the NVPs that are going to be in Arizona, or Arbonne's old national vice president, ex-national vice president, Rita Davenport. So we'll be taking them over to be signed. And then the last bit is the weekly bit, which is being on the 9 o'clock call, and then trying to do 3 one-to-ones, 2 product exposures, that's like posting samples, and 1 group event. This bit isn't included to earn the book. It's only the top bit to earn the book. But do try and push yourself, like Chloe said, just try and push yourself a little bit and get comfortable being uncomfortable, trying to build up that business. And then there is optional extras at the bottom, which you can do if that takes your fancy. So I just wanted to go through that. So now I'm going to end the recording and pass it on to Sammy. So a massive thank you, Chloe, for your training, and everybody get on to doing that tracker. Get that tracker done throughout February, 5 days a week, and you'll earn yourself a signed book, which is going to be incredible. So I'm just going to stop the recording.